and welcome to What's Next Wall Street. I'm George Alfredas.
And I'm Dave Mathews. Now, this is a show about stocks, crypto, and the new AI, decentralized financial Web3 world that is crashing all around us.
Yes, and if you're watching the show on YouTube, you might notice that things look just a little bit different. I'm at home. I promise I'm not a slob. That's my dog stuff back here. This is my Blue Heelers dog stuff. Dave, whenever I buy him a big bed, he tears it up. He eats every bed up. So what do? I give him a blanket. What's he doing? Eating the stupid blanket up. So we are home. I am home in Frisco. Dave, where the heck are you?
I'm very much in a home like Frisco, but San Francisco.
Oh, cute. Look at us. We're in Frisco. Frisco's in the house. And what are you doing in Frisco?
I'm going to hang out here for the month because it's too hot in Texas.
This is true. I'm looking at this behind you, this Mick Jagger. This is the coolest freaking Mick Jagger? Oh my gosh, I love this.
Got a girl bending over the background. That's
I
cute.
thought that was him. Sorry, because he got some real skinny legs. Okay, anyway, y'all. I know okay. All right, so here's the thing. You see how crazy we are because we're in different places. I've got details on all the hot, new, trending products that everybody's talking about using and investing in. And today, I really do have a product that you can add to your home gym or maybe your watch list because maybe like me, you're not really using your home gym.
And I'm going to talk about Apple's new announcements and a first look at the new MacBook Air 15-inch laptop that I played with at the San Francisco Apple Store yesterday. Now, our goal is to provide you with education, information, and tips to help you become a more informed trader and user of technology. So the goal is for you to stay up to speed with what's next on Wall Street and stack some gains.
Yeah, and Dave, I don't know if you noticed on my microphone, again, if you guys are watching, of course, we want you to, listen, but if you're watching on YouTube, this is an actual sock because I took, because my other job is a radio job, I took my actual, took it to the studio. So I actually have to use a sock. Yeah, so my phone. So I have to use an actual sock. So that is actually a sock.
Yeah, thanks for that ASMR.
I just want to let you know because I'm looking at it in the camera and it looks crazy. Okay, listen, y'all. You can email us at OptionsPlayers.com or hit us up on social media at What's Next Wall Street with your questions. You can we can direct you to instructors and experts over at OptionsPlayers.com who are all about the fundamentals when it comes to trading, okay?
Yeah, and you can watch on the YouTube channel and listen on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, it's easy. So here's the thing. You have to make sure that you subscribe. You have to make sure you hit that alert button so that you always know what's next on Wall Street. Do that for us.
All right, so this is good news. Inflation is slowing. May's inflation rate was at its lowest annual rate in more than 2 years.
That's awesome.
Now, the Labor Department says the Consumer Price Index jumped just 0.1% for the month, bringing the annual rate down to 4%. It was the smallest increase since March 2021 when inflation started to reach historic and stratospheric levels. Now, this is not good news if you're a crypto fan. The Securities and Exchange Commission is suing the largest U.S. cryptocurrency exchange. The regulator is accusing Coinbase of failing to register with the SEC and therefore operating illegally. The SEC says Coinbase has defied regulatory structure and evaded disclosure requirements since 2019 and operated as an unregistered broker, exchange, and clearing agency. Okay, this is so whacked because they also went public during this time. So how all of those four things were not figured out, like as they were going public, I don't know. I don't get this stuff.
So here's the thing. That lawsuit was filed just one day after the SEC filed a lawsuit against Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange. So SEC Chair Gary Gensler says crypto markets are undermining capital markets. Meanwhile, Coinbase's legal counsel says it's going to continue to operate as usual and that it has demonstrated commitment to compliance. So here's the deal, Dave. Binance operates two separate exchanges, one that's regulated for the States and one that's more of a wheels-off international one. So a lot of this lawsuit alleges that Binance knowingly allowed traders to access the international exchange when they should have only been able to use the U.S. exchange. But I feel like there's so much of a smoking gun here. I mean, when y'all gonna learn to stop messaging people? What's wrong with y'all? You'll never learn, but I digress. So the chief compliance officer allegedly messaged a colleague saying, quote, We are operating as a freaking unlicensed securities exchange in the USA, bro. And Binance's CCO allegedly said, we do not want Binance regulated ever. So, I don't get it. You take pictures, you message, you text, it's all going to show up somewhere.
Yeah, these digital fingerprints that we have of our world around us, they're not going to go away. I was in New York last week for the Smoke-ageddon, and my buddy let me stay in his place there, and it looked like, it was crazy. It looked like, I don't know, Armageddon coming through the city.
Is that the marijuana?
No. It was through the Smoke-ageddon. It was like the fires in Canada that are blowing down into New York.
I was like, wait, are you talking about, does this have to do with Snoop Dogg? Okay, go ahead. I digress.
Yeah. But I'm talking about digital fingerprints. My buddy let me stay in his place, and when I got to the door, he sent me a text message so I could use his electronic key to get in. And as soon as I get in, he's like, you're okay, right? Everything good? How's the apartment? I'm like, dude, let me get a chance to set my bags down. So
yeah, digital
fingerprints are everywhere with this. Hey, speaking of fingerprints and other news, Netflix got what it wanted. Now, we talked about this on last week's show, Georgia. You were a victim of your own success because you gave, I guess, your kids your Netflix account.
Well, of course they're going to get it, but I gave it to my mom, my sister. Yeah.
Okay. And then you got locked out of it, even though you were paying for it.
Out.
So the streaming giant Netflix is seeing a big bump in subscriptions since implementing the new password sharing rules, or password unsharing, probably is a better way to say this. That's Netflix gained nearly 100,000 new subs on the day the new rules took effect.
Oh my gosh.
And 73,000 new signups over the 4 days that followed. That's 102% increase from the previous 60-day average. Netflix shares, which I bought a lot of before, I guess when they first announced this, I bought their shares.
That was very smart.
But they were trying this. I thought they were going to go for it right away in America, but no, they started in Brazil and they went other countries to see that the technology worked. So the shares are up just over 2% the last time I checked. And Georgia, are you back into your account now? Can you watch your Netflix?
I'm back into my account, but I mean, my mom has to find another way to watch her Korean rom-coms. She's addicted.
Okay. And what about you?
What?
You probably watched the British show. I don't know what the name, the Crown, is that what it's called?
Of course I watched The Crown. I watch every show that's about Britain. I watched, don't get me started on Netflix. I was just about to just run down everything that I watched. But yes, of course I watched The Crown. Okay.
Right to you.
So its parent company, Bed Bath & Beyond, may be gone forever, but Bye Bye Baby is not going bye-bye. It is still alive and kicking. Analysts say the company is already attracting interest from outside buyers. An online competitor, Babylist, and an unnamed retail group have expressed interest in buying part or all of Bye Bye Baby's assets. Bed Bath & Beyond expects to close all of its stores, including Bye Bye Baby, by the end of the month. I mean, yeah, when I was a new mom, like with babies, I lived at Bye Bye Baby. So I don't know. I think there's some value there.
That's an interesting name, Bye Bye Baby.
It's B-U-Y, B-U-Y, Baby. Isn't that cute?
It's not Justin Timberlake, bye, bye, bye.
Okay, we got her singing in. Okay.
Hey, today's pro tip is brought to you by OptionsPlayers.com. And that is know your broker and situation. So many new traders will enter a trade that expires the same day only to see the trade close without their execution. This happens when it's a same day expiry and the broker decides it's time to take risk off, usually a 15-20 minute exercise before the bell. Okay. So know your broker's policy. They may require a phone call if you wish to take the trade close to the bell, but ignoring the situation means they'll decide for you, which that probably cannot go right. So just know that policy and make sure you adhere, because this could have the potential to cost you greatly.
Okay, guys, this is the part of the show where we get to hear from you. You can always hit us up on social media at What's Next Wall Street. But we always, if you comment on our YouTube page, send emails there. Well, you can't send emails to our YouTube page, but we always write back. But you can also email us at WNW@OptionsPlayers.com. So this first email comes from Jessica from Little Lamb, Texas.
Oh, right by the
said that
lake.
like that. Yeah, I was going to say, that's not far from me. So anyway, Jessica writes, what is happening with the SEC and crypto? Girl, you tell me. Can I still buy and sell it? Should I get out immediately? What's up? Okay. It's a really good question. If you heard, earlier we're talking about it, everybody I know, Dave, got out, but I do have an answer. Go to the crypto chat room at OptionsPlayers.com because this is all they've been talking about all week, and it's just all things crypto. Did you get out, Dave? Were you in?
I'm in. I own some ETH, some Bitcoin, of course, and then a bunch of crap coins. So I'm looking at my balances now. They're actually up today. Not by much. Not where they were, a year ago, where they were double. But I'm not going to get out because for me, this is kind of play money. It was consulting money from years ago, and I just threw a bunch of money in there. You don't know what's going to happen long term. I know rates are going down, as we talked about at the head of the show. Generally, when rates go up, crypto would go up as well. But, the government is still trying to figure out how taxing is going to be done on NFTs. I think the NFT market has become a mess. And a lot of this is a multi-level marketing scheme. As Elon Musk said when he was on Saturday Night Live, crypto is a hustle. And you can spend all day trading it, which, will drive you literally crazy.
It will drive you crazy.
I'm going to throw in the bank and wait on it because I don't need that money, and it hasn't gone to zero yet. Some of my crap coins have gone to zero, though. But I don't know. It's not a trading play for me. This is how you don't have kids.
That's college money for me. I'm a fraidy cat. So I'm like, okay, I need it all back. I need it all back before I lose it all. And I don't care what I lose because at least I have something. Something's better than nothing. But that's just me. But again, go to OptionsPlayers.com. Get in the crypto chat room. They're all about it.
Yeah, and if I end up on some desert island in 20 years and there's like a Bitcoin ATM machine, I'll be like, what's my password?
Exactly.
It'll probably all disappear anyway. There's a great South Park episode that as soon as the Stan goes to the bank with his dad and deposited his money, the banker goes, and it's gone. And so he just
exactly.
Crazy. Hey, this next email is from David in San Francisco. David, geez,
oh my gosh. Homegirl was in Little Elm. He's in San Francisco. Yeah. They're just feeling our lives.
Let's go grab lunch. No, they don't do lunch here. It's let's go to an AI session. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure of it. Be careful.
Yeah. I'm loving all that out here, by the way. All right. So David in San Francisco asks, where do you see AI VR going with Apple making a push into the space? Will this create a more serious adoption of technology, and should I start investing more in its players? So I'm going to dig into this in the tech segment of the show in just a few minutes. But Philip Rosedale, he had a service called Second Life that he launched in 2003. He just got interviewed from The Guardian. It's a really good piece. I put it on my Twitter if you look at @GGDM. Okay. And Philip was building virtual reality. Before AI, virtual reality since 2003. And what happened in this Garden story is he said that he's making more money per user than both YouTube and Facebook are in the space. We've talked about what Zuck is doing with Meta and Oculus. And, I think it's Zuck's folly. I'm not a fan of what he's doing with this. But Apple getting in the space could legitimize it. Now, think about this. When Motorola made Bluetooth earpieces, do you remember the nickname that these were called, Georgia?
What?
Blue Tool.
Blue Tool.
Right. But then
because they were awful. They were awful looking. Yes.
And now I've got these little white buds in my ear. They look better, but remember the white cords. Apple had a $40 million advertising campaign about just dancing with white cords. And then Zuck spent $2 billion on Oculus, which this headset, it's just like nothing is a bigger form of birth control than putting this headset on your face, right?
You guys have to watch. If you're listening, you have to see this on YouTube. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So Apple's, they look like Oakley goggles. They look pretty cool. There's a screen on the outside that superimposes fake versions of your eyes. And there's the crown on the face of it. So when you walk around the room, you can dial in the room with cameras.
Or dial out back in AR, VR.
Look, We're going to dig into this later in the show. I still don't think putting shit on your face is going to be something that's compelling.
Same.
I want to
we
interact in the
serious?
real world. But you should definitely keep investing in Apple because like the iPhone 15 is going to come out soon and no one's going to stop buying Apple stuff. And we'll dig into that on their new laptops and stuff later in the show. Hey, if you got questions, hit us up on social media at Next WallStreet and in the comment section of our YouTube page, or you can email us, www.OptionsPlayers.com with your questions. All right, look, David, we're going to talk about this right away here. This is great.
Okay, David.
So Apple got jiggy with a potential flop project like Mark Zuckerberg's folly, the Vision Pro headset, which is what Apple calls it. It's inspired by the 1984 book Neuromancer by William Gibson and executed initially by Palmer Luckey, who sold his technically less capable version of Apple's version of this to Meta for Facebook in the form of Oculus for $2 billion. And this is the Oculus Go headset here that I'm showing. It's got a little elastic headband. There's newer versions of this now, but look at this.
Okay.
You look into these two screens, and these two screens show you stuff. Now, this is the Go. This is the lightweight headset, so it's like $200. The more sophisticated ones
dark
now,
around it, so that way everything's like there's no light that can get through.
yeah,
it
no
looks
light
like.
comes in. You're only looking into this, but the Apple version of this headset looks like goggles, and you can see the room outside of you and the room inside of you, or the room you're in, and then your friends can see what's going on as well. Now, look, Apple has turned nerdy things sexy before, like earbuds. And Apple's versions of
Are you calling yourself sexy because you're wearing earbuds? I'm sorry,
no,
go
not
ahead.
me, just other people. But look around. You walk around Manhattan. Last week, everybody had little white earbuds in.
Yeah.
And a few people even had the Pixel ones in. And Google had ads all over Manhattan and Brooklyn showing the Pixel buds, which they just sit flush inside your ears. They don't have little stems, as Apple calls them. It goes down. But look, Apple versus YouTube, and what YouTube can do some virtual reality stuff. And you've got Meta doing their virtual reality. Like, all three big players are fighting to figure out what's happening with the virtual reality space. And what I love what Google did with their YouTube product called Cardboard, they came out with essentially a piece of cardboard that you could put your phone in and turn it into virtual reality. Now,
That's
if that
cute.
isn't like, they did that right after Palmer Luckey sold his technically less capable version of Apple's headset to Meta for $2 billion. Now, Meta, after that, spent $36 billion over the last 2 years, including renaming their company from Facebook to Meta, which was a throw to the metaverse, the William Gibson term. And he's lately been laying off members of the company who were working on that team. What's going on there, Georgia?
We're at home, guys. There's nothing I can do. Stop it, Danny. You know what, guys? If you're watching on YouTube, you realize we're in a different spot, and my little healer's losing her mind. No, bad dog. Okay, sorry about that.
So Mark is laying off team members from Meta, and they're going back to the roots of a social network that makes money on advertising. Now, lucky for us, with an election year approaching, it's going to get really interesting to see what moderation he has and content filters that they've been working on, outside of the Meta folly.
Right.
I hope they're going to do stuff to prevent these troll farms from swaying our upcoming election. Now, as if Russia wasn't bad in the past, the AI power generation farms are going to be way worse. Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah. So I also went to the Apple store yesterday, and the new MacBook Air 15 is an amazing piece of metal. So
okay, so it's everything
15-inch.
everybody says. Like it's like the new thing. You got to have it. Is that the deal?
Look, I've got a 14-inch MacBook Pro and I've got a 13-inch MacBook Air. And since I've been on the road for the last few weeks, I've been carrying my 13-inch MacBook Air with me. It's because it's so skinny.
Yeah.
The new 15-inch is just as skinny as like my 14-inch with the screen open. So the Air is just like the keyboard height with the screen, which is super cool. The screen resolution is pretty amazing. It's like, higher, lots of pixel density. And Apple calls this technology their Retina technology. But here's the thing, Georgia. It's
What?
only like $12.99 to get started with. So you're
See,
getting a
again,
big
you don't have kids going to
screen.
college, so no, that's $12.99 is 12. You know what that is? That's room and board for like 3 months. Go ahead.
Well, look, they're going to need a laptop anyway. And
It's
the Air
true.
13 was $99. But with the educational discount, you might as well get the 15-inch because now they can do more stuff on the screen. So look, if you're spending your time building PowerPoints and video editing and all that stuff, like you're looking down at a screen all the time. And
That's
I'm in
true.
this setup now where I have a monitor in front of me and a camera on the monitor and a second monitor on my laptop. Nobody wants to carry all that stuff around. And if now you can have all that real estate right in front of you. What's also cool is it has a 1080p camera on it, and it has 2 ports for accessories and then the magnetic charging port. Now, Apple with the Air, initially they got rid of that magnetic charging point, which was such a cool thing. Like you
Everybody
can be in the
loved it.
library at school and somebody like walks by and kicks your charger out. It doesn't take your laptop and slide it across the table and knock your coffee off onto the floor
Yeah.
or into your lap,
Yeah.
even worse. So they put
They even
like,
had commercials bragging about that when it first came, when that technology first came out. There was like a million commercials like, look at this. And so why would
Exactly.
they get rid of it?
yeah, and think about what Steve Jobs has said for us. He said that we need a screen in our pocket. We need an iPad, a screen in our lap. We have a laptop with all different size screens, like 13-inch. They even had an 11-inch MacBook Air for a while. And, this now 15-inch for the Air, pretty cool. It uses the M2 chip, and that M2 is an extremely powerful chip with like 8 cores for CPU. It'll throttle down to only a couple cores when you're like reading text or not processing a lot of data. So the battery life is like 18 hours on this thing. And then it's got 10 cores for graphics to cover this new video screen that they have on it as well. But really the 1080p camera is a nice machine. It doesn't have a memory card slot on it like the Pro models do, but it does have a headphone jack, which is weird because, Apple, I don't even know if you can buy a normal headphone anymore with a mini plug on the side of it.
Yeah, you got to
But-
get that little plug, right? You got to get the little plug for it.
Yeah, but the MacBook itself has the old school style headphone jack in it
I
as
love
well.
it.
So, yeah, I'm a fan of it. Now, here's what the one of the sales associates told me. She said a lot of the laptop bags these days only support the smaller machine cases, so like 14-inch size. So she said she's like had some friends that have bought the 15-inch and it doesn't fit in their bag. So keep that into consideration. But it's a beautiful piece of glass, and they really did a nice edge-to-edge display, and I'm a fan of it. So go out, spend the $12.99. Or Georgia, for you, your kids, because they have an EDU address,
Yeah.
these aren't discounted yet through retailers like Best Buy, but you can use your .edu email, and you get like $100 off. So it's like, $11.99 to $12.99.
Guess what they're going to get? They're going to get my old laptop.
No, that's even better. Yeah. But you can still buy the new one with their EDU discount.
For myself.
Yeah, exactly. But I would definitely, the 8 gigs of RAM is fine. If you do video editing and have large files open, you might want to increase to the 16 gig version. But the 256 gigabyte of storage, I wish Apple would quit doing that. You really need a baseline of 512 these days. I wouldn't spend the money on the terabyte of storage because you can use external drives if you want to archive stuff. 512 gig for this era when we're recording the show is plenty to store your documents and your video files and your music and such. So do that upgrade on storage from 256 to 512, but save the money on the terabyte. And you might as well save the money on the memory because Apple has put the memory on the CPU. So they're stacked. So that data interchange is so fast that you really don't need 16 gig unless you're a mega nerd like me. So, all right.
Cool. Okay, Dave, here we go again. Lululemon bought the Mirror in 2020 for $500 million. And after only like 2 years, we hear they're thinking about offloading it. Shares of Lululemon were down about 1% last time I looked. So the company's worth about $47 billion, right? Lululemon, just as Peloton, switched things up so that users without the bike or the treadmill or the rower now can still use the app. So users without the Mirror can actually access the app on demand. They have like a library of classes for like $13 a month. And, you can do it if you're at home. You can use your, like a lot of times my mirror, my treadmill are upstairs. So if I'm in my bedroom and I got a big screen TV, I can do yoga, downstairs right before I go to bed in my bedroom. And anyway, they're shifting their focus from the mirror to the app going forward, which I get, but they're also trying to get Hydro. Hydro is the company that makes rowers to buy the mirror. So have you ever, do you like rowers?
So rowing machines, what was the big company that sold all this stuff back in the 90s? It was the
they did the stairs, they did
infomercials everywhere.
Yeah, they did all the stuff. I can't remember the name of it. Cannot remember the name of it.
Yeah,
but
so much for their great marketing they did.
Yeah, rowers are the big thing now. I can't stand rowing, but people love rowing. So here's the thing. We know home fitness is not doing so well. After COVID, people headed back into the gym. However, Hydro is over here quietly and steadily raising millions of dollars. Hydro's major investors include Castor Ventures, Wheelhouse 360 Partners, and Winklevoss Capital. So the question is, should Hydro be on your watch list, or is the home fitness craze dead and gone? The short answer is yes and no, because I think people who are already, like I like to work out at home because I'm just lazy, and if I have to get to the gym, I'm probably not going to get to the gym. My kids are not going to allow that, especially in the summertime. So for me, absolutely. But I think other people are excited to get back out. Like they're walking, they're doing all the things outside, all the things at the gym. So I just, I just feel like the home fitness craze, unless you did it before COVID, I think it's kind of gone, or at least gone back.
And Georgia, it was the Bowflex and the Nordic Track.
Bowflex and the yes.
Those were the two ones spending all the money back then.
Absolutely.
So look, Texas is about to hit 100 degrees this week, so I don't think you're going to want to be working out, outside. Probably not.
Well, I mean, I'm still golfing, and it's like 100 degrees because, my family's crazy. So we're outside sweating bullets. But
okay. Yeah. Yeah, but, San Francisco, it's, 70 degrees all the time out here. So it's like, what was the quote from the author? The coldest winter I ever spent was a summer in San Francisco. Thank you, Mark Twain.
Nice. So nice.
For that.
So nice, yes.
So, yeah, this, the mirrors and all that stuff on your wall also has cameras. So, there's probably an issue that people might have with having a camera in their bedroom, Georgia.
Well, there's a little thing. There's a little thing. My husband always comes in and is like, is the camera on? And I'm like, yeah, because I need Katie to tell me what I'm doing wrong. And he's like, turn it off, turn it off. And I'm like, I love it because they're like, hey, Georgia, good job. Can you just, I need that to go way up above your, whatever. I love it because it's like I have my own personal trainer. And because I'm a person who likes to take fitness classes, it works for me. But, I know some people do freak out about it, like you.
Yeah,
you and Steve.
Most people just like the treadmill was a thing to hold clothes after you brought them in from the laundry
treadmills
room.
are just boring. I never even, I'd rather just walk outside.
Yeah.
But,
the San Francisco house I'm in has a treadmill in the basement. And I'm definitely not going to be walking on that.
Okay, listen, remember, if you've got questions, we can try to help you answer them. And we would love to hear from you. So email us at www.optionsplayers.com. Hit us up on social media at What's Next Wall Street. So easy to do.
Yeah, and if you didn't get enough of your fix audio from us, listening to us on Spotify, you can watch us on our OptionsPlayers.com YouTube page. Find us on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. Make sure you subscribe, hit the alert button so you get current trending information as soon as it drops. I'm Dave Mathews.
Sorry, I'm just took a big old swig of. You say swig? Do you say swig?
Up.
That's a Southern thing. I just took a big old swig of coffee.
Yeah.
I'm Georgia Alfredas. We will see you next time on What's Next Wall Street.